Oh man, you guys are not gonna believe this one. I wake up one morning excited as hell because after months of saving, scraping and planning, I finally stained my backyard fence that perfect warm cedar tone. You know, the kind that just glows in the sunlight? Yeah. That one. I step out onto the deck, coffee in hand, take one look and think, damn. This looks good. Then the email hits. Subject line: violation notice, immediate compliance required. From Karen Whitaker, HOA President. My heart sinks. I open it and there it is in bold red font. My fence color has been rejected. Apparently Tuscan cedar is not on the approved palette of muted earth tones, blah blah blah, community standards, aesthetic harmony. She even attached a photo of my beautiful fence circled in angry red marker like I committed a crime. I just stood there staring at my phone. Are you kidding me? This woman who once fined me $25 because my trash bin was out 5 minutes past pickup time now decides my fence is an eyesore. I took a deep breath. Smelled that fresh cedar scent still hanging in the air. Felt the morning sun warm on my face. And something inside me just snapped. Not in anger exactly. More like clarity. If they wanted to play rules lawyer, fine. I'd play too. But my way. First thing I did was dig out the HOA bylaws. All 37 pages of them. Buried in section 4.2 subsection C paragraph 7 was the golden ticket. Fences must be painted or stained in approved colors or artistically rendered in a manner consistent with community aesthetics, provided said rendering does not depict offensive imagery, nudity or commercial advertising. Artistically rendered. Ha! I grinned so wide my cheeks hurt. Challenge accepted, Karen. I called up my buddy Marcus. He's an artist. Not the starving kind. The kind who does hyperrealistic murals for museums and gets paid stupid money for it. I explained the situation over beers. He laughed so hard he almost choked. Dude, he said, you're about to turn malicious compliance into performance art. We spent the next 2 weeks planning. I bought gallons of exterior grade acrylics in every shade of brown, gray, tan and weathered wood you can imagine. Marcus brought his projector, his finest brushes and that obsessive attention to detail that makes his work look photographic. We worked at night mostly. Floodlights humming, mosquitoes buzzing around us. The smell of paint thinner mixing with cut grass. Every stroke deliberate. Every shadow calculated. By the end of it, my once solid stained fence looked exactly like a fence. But painted. Hyperrealistically painted. Wood grain knots, nail heads, even little splinters and faint peeling on the edges. From 10 feet away you swear it was real wood. From 5 feet you start questioning reality. And right in the middle panel, the one facing Karen's house, we added the masterpiece. A tiny, almost unnoticeable detail unless you were looking for it. A small handwritten note in the fake wood grain. Property of resident. Approved per bylaws 4.2.c.7. Eat your heart out, Karen. The morning it was done, I stood back sipping coffee again. Birds chirping. Dew on the grass. My fence looked flawless. Too flawless. Then I heard her. What? In the actual hell? Karen stormed across her lawn in her pink flamingo robe, hair in curlers, phone already out recording. Her face went from confusion to fury in about 3 seconds flat. This is not allowed. She shrieked. This is a mockery of the rules. You think you're clever? I'll have the board fine you into next year. I just leaned on my rake, calm as could be. Morning, Karen. Like the new look? She marched right up to the fence, jabbing her finger at it. This is vandalism. It's fraudulent. I pulled out my phone. Showed her the screenshot of the bylaws. Read it aloud, nice and slow. Artistically rendered. Consistent with community aesthetics. No offensive imagery. She sputtered. Turned beet red. You can't just paint a fence on a fence. Why not? I asked, tilting my head. It's literally a painting of a fence. Matches the neighborhood palette. No nudity, no ads. What's the problem? Neighbors started gathering. Phones out. Whispering. A few chuckles. Mrs. Delgado from 2 doors down actually clapped once before covering her mouth. Karen spun around glaring at everyone. This is unacceptable. I'm calling an emergency board meeting. She stomped off, still recording, still ranting. That afternoon the fines started rolling in. $200 for unapproved alteration. Another $100 for aesthetic disruption. Then a cease and desist demanding I repaint immediately. I forwarded everything to Marcus. He laughed again. Time for phase 2, bro. Phase 2 was simple. I appealed. In person. At the next HOA meeting. The community center was packed. Standing room only. Karen sat at the head table, smug as ever in her power suit, clutching her violation folder like a weapon. When my turn came, I stood up, projector ready. Ladies and gentlemen board members, I said. I received multiple violation notices for my fence. I reviewed the bylaws carefully. And I complied fully. I clicked. The screen lit up with before and after photos. Real fence. Painted fence. Side-by-side zoom-ins showing the insane detail. The fake nail heads. The grain. The tiny note. Gasps. Murmurs. A guy in the back whistled low. As you can see, I continued. This is an artistic rendering fully within section 4.2.c.7. It's painted to match approved earth tones. No offensive content. In fact, it's so realistic some of you probably thought it was a real fence upgrade. Laughter rippled through the room. Karen slammed her hand down. This is ridiculous. It's a loophole abuse. We never intended. The board president, a tired-looking retired engineer named Tom, raised his hand. Karen. The bylaws are clear. He literally followed them. To the letter. But it's mocking us. She cried. Tom shrugged. Then maybe we should rewrite the bylaws so they're clearer. Because right now, he wins. The vote was quick. Violations dismissed. Fines cancelled. My fence stayed. Karen sat there, stunned, mouth open. For once she had nothing to say. But the best part? The next morning I walked out with my coffee. Karen was standing at her window staring at my fence. She looked defeated. Shoulders slumped. Eyes tired. I raised my mug in a little toast. She closed the blinds. Guys, sometimes the pettiest revenge isn't about hurting someone. It's about holding up a mirror. Showing them their own rules turned back on them. And when that mirror is a hyper-realistic painting of the very thing they hate, well, that's poetry. I still have that fence. 3 years later. The paint's held up great. Neighbors stop by sometimes just to laugh and take pics. Even a few board members admitted it looks better than half the fences in the neighborhood. And Karen? She moved last summer. Sold the house. New owners love the fence. Asked me who did the mural. I just smiled. Told them it was a collaboration. Moral of the story? Don't poke the artist. And never underestimate someone who's read every single page of those damn bylaws. Because when the rules are on your side, you don't break them. You master them. And sometimes you paint them right back in their face. Thanks for listening, you guys. If you've ever dealt with an HOA nightmare, drop it in the comments. Hit that like if petty compliance gives you life. Subscribe for more stories where the little guy wins. And remember, sometimes the best fence isn't the one you build. It's the one you paint. See you next time.